Hey guys, this is Locke. This is just a basic guide of how do you do raids. It goes through the basic information about how raids work and things like that. It doesn't actually talk about strategy. I probably will do a second guide talking about strategy for this particular raid, but this is just a general raid guide. So first of all, how do you summon a raid? If you're doing anything in story or in the far planes, you will get a pop-up like this. I will just do a few uh, runs to show you what it looks like. So this is actually the fastest way to get a raid to spawn. You just use skip tickets like this. You skip tickets. Usually by 3 skip tickets you will get one raid. Sometimes it might be 2, sometimes it might be 4. But your raid looks like this. You will get a pop-up like this that you have summoned a raid boss, Diablos. So you can challenge him now, or you can say later and actually continue doing what you're doing. So for example, I will now go and battle again, and I will get a second, hopefully, raid boss. Sometimes I need to do more than 3 skip tickets to get it to spawn. Oh, I got a rare raid. Okay, that's cool. So so you can see that as I am doing these raids, I will I like the number of bosses that I can fight keep increasing, and to go to see the list of monsters that you can fight, you have to click on this button over here that says active raids. So this will actually go to the first boss that you spawned, which is the level 1 Diablos. So you have to kill that one, and then the next one in queue will come up. So you can save up to 10 bosses uh, and fight them all at once. So you don't have to, you don't have to like do a battle, and then once the battle's finished, go to the raid, do the raid, then go back to the battle, then go back to the raid. Like that, I think is too much back and forth. So I would suggest just do the story or event mission or whatever you want to do, and as raids come up, like save them until 10 of them are ready, and then when you have 10 raids to fight, then you can tackle them all at once. I think that'll be the easier way of doing it than going back and forth. Now, you don't actually have to only do story mode. Anything that spends energy will give you a raid spawn. So, for example, you can do it in the event missions, like any of these. General rule of thumb is that every like 18 energy you spend, you get a raid boss. Sometimes it might be more or less, but generally speaking, that's what I usually find. So, like I used skip tickets that are spending energy in groups of 6, so I used 3 of them. But if I was doing something like this one that spends 12 energy, I would probably only have to do like 1 or 2 runs before I can spawn a raid boss. So if I'm using like skip tickets on these ones, I'll probably get one raid for each skip ticket that I use. So if I use one here, I will most likely get one raid boss to spawn right now. I hope. Yep, there we go. Okay, so for a person that is doing raids the first time, I very, very highly suggest that you try to get your raid level up as soon as possible. Because what tends to happen is that your boss, the boss that you're fighting, is from level 1 to level 100. And on the first day, everyone has like a level 1 boss, right? Because that's all you can fight. So you can either fight your own raid boss, like this one, or you can click on quick search and fight somebody else's raid. So again, as I mentioned, everyone has a level 1 raid boss right now. So like the raid just started like 8 minutes ago, so you'll probably have like level 1 to level 10 bosses if you're looking for it. But by the second day, like imagine I was a person that wants to fight other raid battles. I'm not interested in fighting my own raid battle. I have a pretty like high level team, and I can probably tackle level 100 raids if they're available. So when I go to quick search, I will not want to fight like level 10 or level 30 bosses. I will want to fight the highest one I could. If most people have a level 70 boss, that's probably what I'll want to fight. Like I will try to look for something within this range. If people already have a level 91 plus boss, that's what I'm looking for. So that's where the problem lies. Like if you slack off on the raid boss for for like the first few days. Like suppose on the fourth day you are trying to raise your level, like you were like, oh, I'll worry about the raid later, I'll do some other stuff now. So the 3 days you spend doing something else. Fourth day you're trying to do your level 1 raid, and suppose that you're able to solo it and get it up to level, say, 40, right? So say that at level 41 you're having trouble doing it yourself, you want to do it as a team with other people. uh, you spawn your raid boss, you create your room, and nobody's joining. The reason nobody's joining a level 41 room is because most people are probably already joining level 99, level 91 plus raids, maybe even level 100 raids. So you'll have a lot of trouble getting people to join your lower level rooms the longer this goes on. Um, Sometimes, like even by the second day, people already have level 100 rooms. But and as a newer player, you're gonna have trouble doing that. But maybe you might have some luck getting like a level 60 room, a level 50 room. But for sure, if you're on like the third or fourth day, you'll have a very tough time getting people to join your rooms if you haven't leveled them up. So there are a few strategies you can do. Like one of the strategies is to level your own room, and if you are doing that, you should probably try to raise your room's level as soon as you could. But the other strategy is to just join other people's rooms. Like instead of leveling your own room, you can just find other people's rooms to fight and just do it that way. The advantage of leveling your own room is that you get this reward over here. Where is it? I think it's a challenger reward. Yes, challenger reward. So for example, once you do a level 20 room, you get 2,000 bonus coins, like your own level 20 raid. Once you finish that, you get 2,000 bonus coins. And these coins are all multiplied by the unit bonus. So for example, the unit bonus here is 50%, right? So instead of 2,000 coins, you'll get 3,000 coins when you do your own level 20 room. Uh, if you and 2,000 coins is a lot. Like for example, if you look at uh like one second here, like okay, so a level 100 room gives you 700 coins. Like if you do the highest room on the mode that gives you the highest coins that you can get, you get 700 coins per run, right? So 2000 is a lot, and that's just a level 20 room. Like if you complete a level 99 room, you get 10,000 bonus coins. And again, all of these are multiplied by a bonus multiplier, so that 10,000 coins turns to 15,000 coins just for getting your room to level 99. Now that might not be a just, it might be a bit difficult for you to get it up there, but that is one way you can go. One way to go is to try to level up your room as much as you can to do that. Second one, as I said, is to join other people's rooms. So if you are trying to level your own room, this is what I very highly suggest you do, especially if you're starting at a level 1 raid. Look at the bonus unit that you have, whichever you have, whichever is your strongest. I'm going to use Titus in my example, and this is how you want to start your raid. You press challenge, you don't press solo, you press the 4-player 4 unit. That's what you want to press. I'll show you why. Um, Once you do this, you actually go into a room that looks like a multiplayer room. You set up your bonus units, so you set up, Titus and whatever combination that gives him the best stats. So I'm going to do something like this, and he doesn't need that, so I will give him, say, bells, because that's awesome. Okay, and I start him off, and so if I press this button here, the reinforcement request, that's when other people join your room. So at a level 1 boss, it's very easy that you don't need to do that. All you can do, like, make sure you click that 4-player room and then click embark, and you'll see that this will be like such an easy fight. Usually these are very easy until at least like level 20 or something. For a player like me that has level 99 max units with like max VCs, I can usually do this by 1 unit up to level like 60 or something, sometimes more, but usually at least until like level 60 I'm easily able to do it. Like you can see there, he just defeated it in 1 shot, and you have 20 actions you can take to defeat this. So by doing it the way I showed you, you get a lot more coins than you would if you press solo. I'll show you what solo looks like as well. Once this finishes loading up, so you click claim rewards, you get all kinds of nice things, you press OK, and then So this is a raid boss. This is a rare raid, which I'll talk about in a second. But I'm just going to show you what the solo screen looks like. You click challenge, you click challenge again. If you click solo, you can bring in 4 of your own units. So you can take your own party, and at some point, if like bringing one unit at a time gets too difficult, you might be able to do solo, or you can actually just do duo as well. So this is 4 units, 2 players. You can do this, and you can bring in a second unit for yourself. You can actually like click reinforcement and get like somebody else to come in and join you, and click embark if you want as well. Uh, but anyway, my advice is that for like the very early levels, just oops, just click challenge again, click this one, take in your one unit by itself, and auto like do this raid by auto, because it's so easy, right? Like you can set you can set your auto battle on here, and bring the unit that has the highest bonus multiplier, because these levels are so easy. Click embark, and you're good to go. You're good to fight. At some point, maybe that might be like level 20 for you, or level 30, or level 60, whatever it is. If it starts getting to be that you're losing on your first round as you're fighting, um, you have 2 options. One thing you can do is you can bring a second unit and try to clear it this way, or the second option you can do is you can bring in your one unit, and you click embark, and when you lose, you go a second time, and click embark again. So now I'm going to explain how these raid orbs work. So as you can see, I have 5 orbs here over challenge. So that means I can do this, like I can challenge the boss 5 times, and it'll use up one of my raid orbs. However, the very first time you challenge your own boss, this is actually free. So if I was to challenge this guy right now, regardless of the mode, my attempt is free. It says first try is free. So if I beat all of these guys up to level 60 on the first try, I got 60 free attempts without having to use any raid orbs at all, which is awesome. So yes, so if you're able to do this up to whatever level you can do it by your one unit, get it up as high as possible, and your first try is free anyway, so get it up there. If at some point, say at like level 21, you're having difficulty and you fail on your first try, you can use an additional raid orb to get that level done. I don't think there's any problem using these raid orbs, because like I'll show you the ways you can refill it. And it like, as a newer player, don't be afraid to use these raid orbs potions at all, because they are so plentiful. Like I'll show you the stack that I have. I have so many of them. Anyway, moving on. So what is the difference between playing this solo versus 4 player? Well, the rewards are a lot better if you're playing it in the mode that I show you. Like you go as a 4-person team, but only use the one unit. So here you can see like victory rewards. If you're doing it solo, I will show the highest, because it's easier to see what the rewards are like. So if you're playing it solo, you get 350 of these coins. If you are instead playing it as a quarter, you get 700, so you get double. So what those different modes mean. So if you play solo, that's this one. You can bring in 4 units and attack. You only get 350 coins at level 100. If you play it as a quarter, which is this one, and you can go in by yourself. I recommend at lower levels you go in by yourself, or you can just like invite other people to come. You can press random friends guild, and people will join your battle. They will start coming up in these spots. You hit embark when you have full, and you can attack and do it that way. Um, yeah, so I guess that's really 3 different options. That at whatever point you're having difficulty, there are 3 different options you can tackle this. One is to go and buy yourself on this mode and just spend an extra raid orb. The second option is to just click this and click the reinforcement request and do it as a team with other people. The third option is to do it with 2. So you take 2 of your own units and do it that way. So now refilling the raid orb. So you have 5 over here. At some point, once you start using them up, every hour you get 1 more raid orb. But that only starts when you actually start using these up. So if you get to like level 30 and you never have to use a raid orb, you will just stay at 5. You're not getting extra. But at level 31, if you start using a raid orb, 1 hour after you use your first one, you will get a refill of those raid orbs. So in 5 hours, you will get that 5 filled up. That seems like a long time to wait, but there are other ways to get these raid orbs as well. If you use one of these potions that you can buy over here, right here at the anniversary shop, these multi-raid restore potions, one of these will restore 5 raid orbs as well. So, and you can use up to 3 of these a day. So this event lasts for 7 days, and the maximum raid portions I can use is 21. And look how many I have. I have 85. So this is why I say don't be afraid to use these, because you get so many of them. The game gives you so many. I'm not afraid to use them. I just don't really have a need to use them, because once you start getting up in level, it's not often that you fail. So that's why I barely use them anymore. So the best time to use them is when you're a newbie and you need to be like doing multiple attempts. So I really highly recommend you use these when you need to, because that's what it's for. It's to, like, there's no point in me holding on to 85 of these. It doesn't do me anything, right? So this is how you can refill your raid orbs. You can use them 3 times a day, so that is 15 extra attempts. And if you are like going at it crazy and you have another 24 raid orbs, one that is restoring at 1 per hour, so you have 24 plus 15 attempts at least that you can do if you're doing it 1 every hour, plus every time you challenge your own boss the first time, you don't use any raid orbs as well. If you are fighting other people's raids, so if I go to quick search and I choose some other level and I'm fighting somebody else's raid, the first 20, that's 20 attempts that you do this way is free. I don't know why they picked 20, but that's what it is. So I can do 20 of these level 91 raids, and that doesn't cost me any raid orbs. On the 21st attempt, that's when I start using a raid orb. So that's also a second advantage of leveling up your own raids, because at some point, if you are using other people's raids, if you're fighting other people's raids, you will start to use up your raid orbs, and you will start having to use potions and stuff like that. And there might be a limit unless you spend Viz to keep refreshing these raid orbs, right? Whereas if you are doing your own attempt and you can continuously finish it on the first try with like a team of or something like that, then you won't be needing to use any more raid orbs, because you will always just be doing your own raids. And yeah, so if you're doing your own raids and you're able to complete it on the very first try, then you don't need to be spending any raid orb potions, or you wouldn't be using your raid orbs, because the very first try for your own raids is free. um so every once in a while you'll get a rare raid like I got right now. So this rare raid gives you so many more potions, and it gives you like, sorry, not so many more potions, so many more points. It gives you so many more points than the regular raid. You can check like right here. The normal one at level 100 gives me sorry, let me look at the quick cherry rewards, which is better. So the normal one gives me 350 points, right? If I'm doing it with the team of 4, I get 700 points. If I'm doing the rare raid, I get 1000 points. So it's a lot better than, like, the points are higher. And also their other words, I don't know if their other words are better. Let me see. So I get 30 here. No, I don't get 30. I get 53 here. The ones that say rare is like a rare drop. You don't get it all the time. But every time I do one of these, I get 53. If I do a rare raid level 10, if I do a normal one, I get only 20. So you can see the rewards are better if you're doing the rare raids. Uh, so if you get a rare raid, like, you should do it. Like, as you saw, I got my rare raid, and I have to defeat this rare raid before I can move on to fight the next Diablos that spawned. Um, I think that's about it for my advice. Oh, the other thing I can mention is the unit bonus. So in the trials, you want to use as many of these unit bonuses as possible. In raids, that doesn't matter. So it's only the first unit it only counts for one. So if I bring Titus, Yuna, and Aron, I will only still get a 50% multiplier. I won't get 150%. So I can bring one of these units that gives me the best bonus and build a team around it. So, for example, if I decide that I am going to be, say, like duoing this at some point, maybe I will bring something like Titus plus Glaciella or something, so that I can do water chains, right? Uh, like maybe that's a strategy I have. Uh, but to be honest, this boss, like not the Flan Princess, but Diablos, is weak to light slash. So if you're bringing units like Elsorel, she will do a lot of damage because she's a light slash unit. You can also bring, I guess, Rob. But the problem with Rob is that he doesn't get a bonus multiplier. So, so one thing you can do is, like, if you're bringing two units, you can bring, say, like Titus, and you can bring Rob. They won't be doing light slash, but they'll be doing slash chains, right? So, anyway, that's getting into strategy, and I will do a much more detailed guide about strategy and like different ways of tackling this. But if there's one thing that you're taking away from this video and you're planning to do raids, get your raid leveled up as soon as possible, because if you wait on it and then you decide to go at it hard on like day 3 or 4, you will have a much harder time unless you can bring your own raid up to 100 easily or something. So now I'll talk about what you can do with the raid medals that you're getting. So you can go to the Mog shop and you will see that you have a tab that says raid medals. And with this, you can buy different recipes and different other items as well. Um, so the item on the left, this is the item that is featured for this raid. If you if you buy, this item and recipes of this item, to craft it, the materials that you need to craft these items will drop from the raid itself. You don't need to buy additional unless like you're like like if you do the raid boss enough times, just from the materials from the that the raid boss drops, you can craft this. Um, Whereas the other items like the defense bracer or the purple lightning, if you want to craft those items, you actually will need to get the different items. Like I don't know what they are, but like some of these items you will need to get to be able to craft these. Um, for a new player, like you don't need to make a +5 of these items. Like a +0 is, is like for some of these items are still a good value. Like this item, the defense bracer, it gives you, I think, like 15 or 16 defense. Let me just check. I have it on Titus. Sorry, 1 second. Defense bracer. Yeah. So the defense bracer gives me 16 defense, right? And it gives 25% disabled resist. So like I built a team of like people just using disabled, and I've been doing pretty well in arena. Equip this item at +0 and your unit won't get disabled anymore. So this is a good item to buy to just get to +0. Like you don't need a +5 of it. +5 gives me 25% missile resist for 3 turns. Yeah, that's a good effect, but like you don't need it for a new player. Like if you get a +0 of this, that's good enough for a new player. I mentioned before that I have some of the gears from before. I only have a +0 version and I'm still using it. Like this one, the platinum robe. Well, not that one, but I have a different platinum robe somewhere here. This one. So it's a +2 platinum robe that I still use, even like a year later. And I crafted this on one of the earlier raids. I don't need a +5. It has 18 defense. It has 400 HP. It's good. So likewise, don't get intimidated by the amount of stuff that you need to craft a +5. For a new player, like a +2 is more, like even a +0 or a +2 is more than enough. Um, yeah, and like if you feel that even with the materials that are dropping from the raid, if you just don't have enough, like you can still buy some of those materials here as well. Like you can, I think